guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Emily, and this week's video, as you can tell by the title, is my 1 month Accutane update. Before we get started on that, I just wanted to talk to you guys quickly about this necklace. This is not a sponsored video, but this company called Freya Treasures sent me out this really gorgeous necklace. It's gold and it's part of their Zodiac collection, and it's absolutely stunning. You guys can get 25% off with my code, which I'll leave in the description box down below, so if you want to get anything for yourselves, please check them out. They make gorgeous handmade jewellery, and as we know at this time, it's really important to support small businesses. So yeah, all the details for that will be down in the description box for you, so I would highly recommend you check them out because they are lovely. Let's get into the video. So in my last video on my channel, I know it was a while ago, sorry, it was the day before I was about to start taking isotretinoin, or Accutane as it's more commonly known, and I've been on it for 1 month now. If you haven't been following me on Instagram, you probably should, because I've been doing updates on there pretty much like, not daily, but like, you know, every time something changes or I notice something, and I've been putting on like weekly pictures to show you guys the progress. So if you don't know what Accutane is or what it does, I would highly recommend you watch my previous video, which I'll link up here, and I kind of go into the details of how the drug works, what it does for you. But essentially it is the most intense form of acne medication that you can go on, and yeah, it comes with some pretty horrific side effects because obviously the drug dries you out. Probably one of the first things I noticed when my lips started to feel dry, and I've been really good at managing the dryness on my lips, and it hasn't really been a problem for me at all throughout this whole month. Like, if I start to notice them getting dry, I'll just go and put on some stuff that I put on my lips, which I'll show you later, and to be honest, they haven't cracked. Touch wood. Near the beginning I thought we were close to cracking, but I managed to stop it, and yeah, they haven't bled or anything like that, so that's been great. But they definitely are dry, and I do have to have stuff on them 24/7, otherwise they will, I don't know what will happen, I don't even want to think about it. So yeah, that's probably one of the first side effects that I noticed. The next thing that kind of started to play up a bit was my eyes. So my eyes definitely are drier, and they started to feel really kind of itchy, and just like I wanted to close them all the time. So I combat that with some eye drops, which I'll show you later on as well, and to be honest, it's been fine ever since. Like, I think, to be honest, that side effect came and then it went, so my eyes have almost kind of used to it now, I think, and I don't really need the eye drops anymore at the moment. I'm not using eye drops really at all. A third side effect that I noticed pretty early on was that my hair started to like shed. I think what happened was like the whole, like my skin and my body just like shed like a whole layer, and obviously when it's on your body you don't really notice it, but like on your head I got like dandruff, and it just was like tiny little like white sort of dots all throughout my head, and I'd never had dandruff before, so it was like really strange to me and really new. I didn't really change anything, I just kept washing my hair as normal, and it's kind of gone back to how it was before, like no dandruff. So I think hopefully that's kind of done and dusted now. Like, it was almost like my scalp just was like, cool, let's just shed and then go back to being normal. So other than that, it's been fine. It was a little bit itchy around the time when it was a bit more dandruff, but now it's normal and it feels totally fine. And ever since that point, and obviously as the longer I've been on the drug, I've noticed that my hair does not get greasy, like at all. I can't remember the last time I washed it. Like, it's definitely been well over a week, and my old hair would definitely have been very greasy by now. It doesn't even feel like it needs to be washed. Like, I'll probably wash it tonight, but it doesn't necessarily feel like it needs washing at all, which is honestly amazing. Like, that's a really good side effect. Speaking of like good side effects, another one that's kind of I've noticed is I have a lot more dreams, and they're really vivid when I'm in the dream. Like, they're really clear, and it's really like, I don't know, like surreal. And I wake up and sometimes I'm like, wait, did that just happen? And I'm like, no, that was just a dream. But that's quite a cool one. I can't often remember them for very long, the dreams. Like, I'll wake up, kind of remember what happened, and then I kind of just go about my day and that's it. But it's quite cool, and I know a few other people have vivid dreams while they're on Accutane, so yeah, that's quite a cool one. This is really like TMI, but my urine is yellow pretty much all the time. Like, no matter what I do, no matter how much water I drink, and like I said, I'm drinking more water than I did beforehand, my wee is yellower than ever. Especially in the morning, like first thing, and like throughout the day it does get less yellow, but it's just constantly like a little bit yellow. So I think that definitely is to do with the Accutane. It's probably the excess of the vitamin A coming out of my body, probably. I don't know. I guess the most recent side effect for me is my nose. So over the last couple of days I've kind of felt it get quite dry and scabby, which is a bit gross, and I think we've got like a scab up in this side, so I just need to not touch it. And again, I'll tell you in a bit what I'm doing to kind of combat that dryness in my nose and hopefully stop it getting any worse. My actual skin itself, so on my face, that has completely changed over this month. Like the whole texture of my skin, the way it's kind of operating is just completely different, and it's something that I haven't had skin that kind of works, I guess, normally for such a long time, that it's really weird for me. So obviously my skin before was very kind of oily, very clogged, and every single pore on my face almost felt like it was plugged and like just full of sebum. So it had like a rough sandpaper texture to it, and by about week 2, week 3, the texture of my skin almost kind of switched. Like one day I had a shower, washed my face, it felt like, you know, sandpapery still, and then the next day I washed my face and it was like smooth as a baby's bum. Like it's just incredible, the texture change in it. It's like my pores just kind of went, got rid of everything, and then it's just clear now. I know a lot of people say like, oh, you have like a purge when you go on Accutane, so like your skin will kind of like just go crazy and like eject all of the horrible stuff, and you'll get a really bad breakout. I wouldn't say I had a really bad breakout, but I did have a breakout. Like I'm still occasionally getting spots. Like today I haven't had a spot for like a couple of days come up, which is a miracle for me. But I kind of haven't noticed it get significantly worse to say that I had a purge, but I definitely had some spots come up and some larger sort of cystic ones which came up and then went away relatively quickly. So yeah, it's almost like my skin was just like, right, push everything out. So like all the extra oil, all the extra sebum just kind of like came out of my skin, and then it's just been left with like this new fresh like layer underneath that's smooth. That's been incredible. And because I feel like, because my pores are just open channels now, like I can see them more, like I can see my pores. So although yes, they look maybe a little bit bigger to me, I'm so much happier with them because they're like just a normal pore. And because it's been so hot in the UK here, like over 30 degrees, and everyone is just sweating and it's just horrible, to be honest. I've noticed my face actually sweats. Like I can actually see sweat on like my upper lip, on my nose, on my forehead, whereas before, if I did any kind of exercise or got hot and sweaty, my face would never actually sweat. Like the rest of me would sweat, my face wouldn't. And the thing I put it down to was that my pores were so clogged that sweat actually couldn't get through, and it would just stay stuck in that pore, and that would probably just make my acne worse. That's why I always felt like whenever I exercised, my acne would just get worse, because my pore was probably just like plugged already, and then you'd have sweat behind it trying to get through, and it couldn't because it was just blocked. I've been delighted, to be honest, that I've been sweating on my face, because I feel like my skin is working normally again, or the way it should do, you know, like the rest of my skin does on my body. So yeah, my skin has made a drastic like turnaround, and I'm really surprised at how quickly it's happened, to be honest. So yeah, I think now will be a good time to show you guys some pictures of my skin. So I'll show you like from the beginning, so before I started, and then week 1 and week 2 and week 3 and finally week 4, which is where we're up to now. And I can just see the biggest changes. Like I don't know if other people can, because obviously my acne was mild in the beginning really, but for me it's just, the changes are just crazy and insane, and yeah, I'm just very happy with them. I think my body acne, I know for a fact it's going to take longer to clear up, just because I don't know, I feel like the skin doesn't turn over as quickly on your body, so it just takes longer. But saying that, I have noticed initially there were more spots on my back for sure, like more kind of came up, and then now it's kind of definitely smoothing out and there's a lot less, which I'm really happy about. And my chest area was full of just like tiny little plugged pores and little spots, and they're kind of diminishing every day, which is so good. I'm really happy about that. I was so nervous, like on my first day when I was about to take my first tablet. I was like, oh, like am I really doing this? Like, do I really need to do this? Like, is it really worth it? You know, you're kind of questioning everything and you're doubting yourself, and because you've read all these horror stories, and I took the first pill and obviously nothing happened on the first day, and I'm there expecting big changes or me to feel really dry all of a sudden, but that doesn't happen. And now looking back to the beginning of the month to now, which has honestly flown by, I am so happy and excited to carry on. and just see what happens, because it's just amazing how much my skin's improved and the transformation it's made so far, that I'm really excited. So in terms of my dose and everything, I'm on 20 milligrams still, and I have been from day one. I won't be changing my dose until I go and see my dermatologist, and obviously because of COVID I feel like appointments are slightly more difficult to get and more difficult to kind of fit in. So I think I'll be going to actually see my dermatologist in person around the beginning of September. So I have to just keep taking 20 milligrams until then, and then obviously I'll get like an assessment, another blood test done, another pregnancy test, and hopefully everything is good, fingers crossed, and I can just carry on with the course. But I'm pretty sure they'll probably up my dose, because that's normally what happens. I think I'm tolerating the medication really well. The side effects are completely manageable, and my mental health is honestly amazing. Like, I'm so happy. So I don't see why they would take me off it unless my blood work comes back weird, but in myself I feel great. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but I will take you guys along with that journey and let you know what happens with that. So in terms of skincare, if you watched my previous video, I did talk about the products that I kind of stocked up on in preparation for everything. I did a pretty good job in terms of buying the right products. There is just like one extra thing which I added in. So obviously, oh my god, can the dog stop barking? So obviously you do get dry, and you get drier than normal. I was already using this. I've raved about this cream for such a long time. It's just the CeraVe moisturising cream, and I've been putting this on my face, which I did do beforehand, and it really does keep my skin really hydrated throughout, you know, the day. I wash my face just once in the evening, and then I just moisturise with this, and that's all I do. So just a cleanser and a moisturiser. This honestly is amazing. It just completely keeps my skin hydrated. Couldn't recommend it enough. And I did used to use this on my body, and it is great, and there's no reason not to use it on my body. But this is what I've bought recently. So this is the Vitamin E all over body cream intensive version, just from Superdrug. Now the reason I've got this is because if you've watched my previous videos, I just have a few issues, and I had a varicose vein removed earlier this year, and my vein surgeon said that it's really good to get some vitamin E cream. It's really good for your legs and your skin and your veins, just to help kind of with spider veins and things like that. So yeah, I've got this one. I've just been using this on my legs, and also like just putting the excess on my arms. I never ever really used to have to moisturise my arms, and I just have been doing just as kind of a precaution to stop them getting dry. Like, they aren't dry at all, but it's just in case. I really like this. The only downside to it, and the only thing I would change, is I would take out the very slight amount of fragrances in here, because yeah, I'm not a fan of intense fragrance smells. It's really subtle. It isn't massive, so I can't be too mad about it, but I would just remove that. I just think that would make it even better. Now on my lips, you can probably tell they're shiny as can possibly be, and that is due to this, which is an absolute lifesaver. It's the Aquaphor Soothing Skin Balm, which I showed in my last video, and it's not even designed for the lips. It's just balm that's supposed to be used on really dry skin. So I put this on my lips while I go to sleep, like a big thick layer as like a mask overnight, and I wake up and my lips are dry, but without this I cannot even imagine how dry they would be. And then I put this on in the morning as well after I brush my teeth. But throughout the day, because my lips aren't actually too bad still, I just use Vaseline. So this is just, yeah, the original tin kind of Vaseline that I put on throughout the day. And I do have to reapply it about 3 times throughout the day, so it's really not too bad. You just got to remember to do it and just not let your lips get dry. I think that's the key. So recently, because I mentioned that my nose is starting to feel dry, one of you guys actually said take your Vaseline, get a cotton bud and literally put Vaseline up your nose, and I read it and I was like, really? Like, that sounds really horrible. But I did it last night for the first time and it did help. Obviously the scab's still there, but hopefully that will help. So I will continue to do that with the Vaseline and the cotton bud up the nose. And then lastly, because my eyes, like I said, they occasionally do feel dry. At the moment they're okay. Like for the past week or so, I really haven't had to use eye drops. But if they do feel dry, I've just been using these eye drops, which I showed in my last video as well, and they are the Accutane original preservative-free eye drops. I mentioned this last time, but preservative-free means you can put them in your eyes an unlimited amount of times. So it's kind of useful and key for Accutane, because you don't know how dry your eyes are going to feel some days. So yeah, this is lovely and this works really well. You put it in, about 20 minutes to half an hour later your eyes feel normal again. I guess, yeah, the last thing I should mention is the importance of drinking water and staying hydrated, because obviously your body is kind of dehydrating. I've been drinking so much water. Like I drank a lot of water before going on Accutane, but now I just down water all day, and it does make you feel really good. I'll do a close up for you on camera just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So my forehead, it's still nice and hydrated looking. It doesn't look particularly dry, and you can see all my pores, which is nice. This is my cheek, jawline, the cheek. That's it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope these videos are kind of useful. I don't want you to take this as me telling you to go on Accutane. I'm purely just documenting my experiences because you guys wanted me to do that. If you're new around here, please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Like this one if you enjoyed it. Leave me any comments down below. I reply to pretty much every single comment I get, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye for now.